So tell us a little bit about what's happening in the body during energy restriction. Is it purely calorie reduction, or is there more to it than that?
So I guess the first thing to say is when we restrict calories, I guess it depends how much by or if we don't eat at all. And it has huge amount of effects across loads of different um, metabolic pathways, different tissues. It's a bit like when you exercise. If you asked, an exercise specialist, what happens when you exercise? It's like you'd need a wall with a whole load of different metabolic pathways. So calorie restriction is exactly the same. The sort of headlines really are that when we are in a fed state, all the cells in our body are generally, turning over, proliferating. We're kind of in a growth mode. When we're calorie restricted, that gets switched or toned down or switched off. And the body shifts into a kind of more repair mode and housekeeping mode. We need healthy cells, being replaced and we get rid of the dead cells. But when all this growth is going on, then sometimes cells are produced which are damaged. We might have damaged mitochondria, which are the little batteries in our cells. And damaged cells in the body cause problems. They cause inflammation. They can be like the first step to a number of conditions. So we need this housekeeping to go on. So it is important. But I guess the question that I don't think we know, and you'll see a lot of fasting websites that claim, oh, if you fast, you do a time restricted eating for this many hours, you're going to get all this cleaning up of all these unhealthy cells. I don't think we know, Ewan, how low in calories you need to go, how long you need to do it. And I bet you it's different for different people. So, I mean, with all of these things, you would expect to get bigger a better response if you start off in a very, very overfed state. I would imagine you're going to get more of a benefit from energy restriction than if you're already a healthy weight person who generally eats roughly about what they need. You've got more to correct, if you like. So there is this potential for more cell repair. We become more insulin sensitive, which is a good thing. We might get more these mitochondria forming in our muscles, which is good. And we might be clearing out some of this fat when we do these spells. But again, it's how long we need to do that for. There was a really interesting paper that came out, I think it's from the London hospitals last year, and they actually had people on a 7-day total fast. Don't try that one at home. But it took 3 days of a total fast to start getting a consistent sort of metabolic signal. So that's where I'm coming from. So sometimes when we get very excited that doing an 8-hour eating window in a day or 1 day of an intermittent fasting diet is going to have all these health benefits. I think we may be being optimistic. Now there can be some detrimental things when we calorie restrict. Obviously, calorie restriction is generally done in the context of people trying to reduce their weight, where it has to be done. Um, I am aware a lot of healthy weight people are interested in calorie restriction. There's a whole, an intermittent fasting and thinking that there are spells of calorie restriction which might benefit their health. But again, there's very little, or in fact, no real evidence that calorie restriction in a healthy weight person can help. There was some work done in the States on the calorie study, which was a fantastic study, which ran for a number of years. And they did get healthy weight people, but their healthy weight, Ewan, was, I think, between a BMI of maybe 22, 23 and 27, 28. And they did get improvements in some of their cardiovascular endpoints, some of their immune function, but, they were all losing some weight and body fat, etc. They do think there was some possible weight independent effects of this calorie restriction. So I should say they reduced their calories by about 25%, these healthy weight people. But if someone's got a body mass index of 18.5, I would be very wary about recommending that they do that. So the detrimental effects are, you will have less energy, We know that when people calorie restrict, they are less physically active, which of course isn't a good thing. There will be reductions in lean body mass. They may be issues with fertility in women. It's certainly bad for bone health. And, and sometimes, there are psychological impacts of these things. People can get quite anxious, etc. Calorie restriction is not risk um, free and not necessarily recommended for all.